Welcome to our series, Seeking the New Poetry. More poems of William Butler Yeats, Part 2. Adam's Curse. We sat together at one summer's end, that beautiful, mild woman, your close friend, and you and I, and talked of poetry. I said, a line will take us hours, maybe. Yet if it does not seem a moment's thought, our stitching and unstitching has been naught. Better go down upon your marrow bones and scrub a kitchen pavement or break stones like an old pauper in all kinds of weather. For to articulate sweet sounds together is to work harder than all these, and yet be thought an idler by the noisy set of bankers, schoolmasters, and clergymen the martyrs call the world. And thereupon, that beautiful, mild woman, for whose sake there's many a one shall find out all heartache, on finding that her voice is sweet and low, replied, to be born a woman is to know, although they do not talk of it at school, that we must labor to be beautiful. I said, it's certain there is no fine thing since Adam's fall, but needs much laboring. There have been lovers who thought love should be so much compounded of high courtesy that they would sigh and quote with learned looks precedents out of beautiful old books. Yet now it seems an idle trade enough. We sat grown quiet at the name of love. We saw the last embers of daylight die, and in the trembling blue-green of the sky, a moon, worn as if it had been a shell, washed by time's waters as they rose and fell about the stars and broke in days and years. I had a thought for no one's but your ears, that you were beautiful, and that I strove to love you in the old high way of love, that it had all seemed happy, and yet we'd grown as weary-hearted as that hollow moon. The Song of the Happy Shepherd. The woods of Arcady are dead, and over is their antique joy. Of old the world on dreaming fed, gray truth is now her painted toy. Yet still she turns her restless head. But O sick children of the world, of all the many changing things in dreary dancing past us whirled, to the cracked tune that Kronos sings, words alone are certain good. Where are now the warring kings, word bemockers? By the rood, where are now the warring kings? An idle word is now their glory, by the stammering schoolboy said, reading some entangled story. The kings of the old time are dead. The wandering earth herself may be only a sudden flaming word, in clanging space a moment heard, trembling the endless reverie. Then nowise worship dusty deeds, nor seek, for this is also sooth, to hunger fiercely after truth, lest all thy toiling only breeds new dreams, new dreams. There is no truth saving in thine own heart. Seek, then, no learning from the starry men, who follow with the optic glass the whirling ways of stars that pass. Seek then, for this is also sooth. No word of theirs the cold starbane has cloven and rent their hearts in twain, and dead is all their human truth. Go gather by the humming sea some twisted echo-harboring shell, and to its lips thy story tell, and they thy comforters will be, rewarding in melodious guile thy fretful words a little while, till they shall singing fade in ruth, and die a pearly brotherhood. For words alone are certain good. Sing then, for this is also sooth. I must be gone. There is a grave where daffodil and lily wave, and I would please the hapless fawn buried under the sleepy ground, with mirthful songs before the dawn. His shouting days with mirth were crowned, and still I dream he treads the lawn, walking ghostly in the dew, pierced by my glad singing through my songs of old earth's dreamy youth. But ah, she dreams not now. Dream thou, for fair are poppies on the brow. Dream, dream, for this is also sooth. The Rose of Peace. If Michael, leader of God's host, when heaven and hell are met, looked down on you from heaven's doorpost, he would his deeds forget. Brooding no more upon God's wars in his divine homestead, he would go weave out of the stars a chaplet for your head. And all folk, seeing him bow down, and white stars tell your praise, would come at last to God's great town, led on by gentle ways, and God would bid his warfare cease, saying all things were well, and softly make a rosy peace, a peace of heaven with hell. He gives his beloved certain rhymes. Fasten your hair with a golden pin, and bind up every wandering tress. I bade my heart build these poor rhymes. I worked at them day out, day in, building a sorrowful loveliness out of the battles of old times. You need but lift a pearl-pale hand and bind up your long hair and sigh, and all men's hearts must burn and beat, and candle-like foam on the dim sand, and stars climbing the dew-dropping sky live but to light your passing feet.